And we are live. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream. And that is right, we are live on this beautiful May 8th, 2026. We were not planning on streaming today, but we had some really big news to break from the Virginia Supreme Court. I'm going to say right now.
The Virginia map is dead.
Thank you.
The Virginia
shut up.
map
Let him
is
do the
dead.
intro.
Reformed UK is
Luke,
alive, dude.
we talked about
Okay,
this.
fine, speak. Fine, go ahead.
The Virginia Supreme Court finally ruled on the redistricting referendum out of Virginia. And to put it lightly, I think Democrats are in deep trouble for the House now. This was their Hail Mary. This was their final shot at redistricting, and it failed. That might have been it for them. Now, I'll be clear, I'm still kind of iffy on saying Republicans will retake or keep the House, but this has to be one of the biggest backfires in a long time from Democrats. You talk about worst case scenario. Is there any way this could have been made even worse for Democrats? This was
if
like
California was struck down.
I guess, but even then
that's it.
Yeah, and even Utah, they might strike that down. They're playing games over there. We'll see. I don't think so, but yeah, there's a lot to get to with Virginia. Before we get into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. All great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions or concerns or want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And I got a few to read through before we start, so let me get these. Timothy Fitch for 2. I can hear Luke dying of smug laughter from here. True. K-Cup for 2. Virginia GOP just Luigi winning by doing nothing. Hey, the Virginia GOP got lucky here. They got very lucky.
Let's be real here. The Republicans didn't win this. The Democrats lost it. But
yeah,
it's just as satisfying.
They failed miserably. So, don't cry in the casino.
No crying in the casino.
Oh, gosh. Got more to read through. Chance Drazik for 5. In your face libs and in your face black pillars. Lots of good things happening in this country and the world. I'm tired of hearing there isn't. Yeah, this has been a very white pilling week. From top to bottom, this has been one of the best weeks of Trump's administration by far, I think. Would be made even better if the Iran stuff would end, but it's whatever.
Go on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of read-throughs, so I'm just going to get it out right away. K-Cup for 5. The white pilling continues. All I can imagine is that blank stare, no response Spamberger gave during the debate now. She deserves ever an L she gets. Well, yeah, because of Lucas, they pissed away all their political capital, so good luck.
What did I do, bro?
And don't keep in mind, they also pissed away $80 million, half of which is directly out of the Democratic House's personal pact with Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
So they're down an even further. They're down an even further, at least $40 million.
Out of freaking money. And they keep saying we're going to invest $1 billion. Where's the money coming from? You just waste all your money in Virginia. So, yeah, more read through. K-Cup for 2. Late Green Hill politics had less than 50 rings. Oh gosh. American Nerd for 2. Celebrate good times. Come on. Yep. Josh Hollystan has been a member for 35 months. The Virginia gerrymander is dead and Reform UK is alive. Hell, Restore UK is showing life. And that's a really good sign
for the record, that was because they laser focused all their resources on like 5 seats. That happens in local politics.
They're doing good.
Yesterday was Reform's night.
Oh yeah, it was.
Sorry,
but
you can't take that away.
Cameron Fogart for 2. I love gerrymandering. Let's go. Yeah. American Nerd for 2. Cool intro, by the way, rap. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll try something new. People like it, so that's good. American Nerd for 2. Democrats must be pissed at Spamberger right now. Lucas is done. She may get forced out after this. That was not too smart on her end. That was, wow. Who would have thought doing what she did was a horrific idea? I'm pretty sure even Democrats warned her not to do that last fall, right?
It's coming out to where Spamberger's team told her not to do that. Spamberger's team they're obviously going to go through with it because they're Democrats. Ultimately, they care about power plays and their team players. But Spamberger and her team were incredibly cautious and aired against it at first. And it was Luis Lucas and the Senate Democrats in Virginia who tried to push that. And it's come back and it's bit them in the ass.
I mean, They wasted all their political capital on this, and we'll get to that. We'll get to ramifications in a second. Karen Full got for 2. It'll be really fun if we keep the House. At this point, I'm starting to think it's 50-50 right now, but we'll get to that. Avery for 5, Lamau. Yeah, that was pathetic. Daniel for 5. You can call this a dramatic statement, but MAGA kicked ass and chewed gum with plenty of gum still left. Yeah, they still got they got gas left in the tank. The GOP does. So Tester's banned for 2. Your referendum, my choice. Jacob Martin for 2. Can Virginia appeal this to the Supreme Court or no? The Supreme Court usually does not intervene in these type of things. So
I would also like to note that the Supreme Court is filled with Republican-leaning judges.
Yeah.
And that the person that wrote the opinion in this Virginia Supreme Court decision was a Democrat.
To be fair, it was more
That
conservative
is actually
Democrat.
false. I looked into it. They
Yeah.
were confirmed by the Republican state legislature.
But
The justice is a Republican. They were simply nominated by Democrats under Warner when Virginia Democrats and the Republicans were much more bipartisan.
Yeah,
so that is not true. He is a
yeah,
Republican.
But still, it is technically funny that it was a Democrat judge in a way.
I came here to bleed all over your stream and also lie. That was my first lie of the day, ladies and gentlemen. John Rose here.
Yeah,
John Rose
to lie to you.
John Rose is tuning out.
But Rap, I wanted to say, if we're talking about National House, I can only be here for a couple minutes, but I thought I replied with the here. That I posted it at 11:33, just like a few minutes ago, and it's basically, I put together the worst case scenario for Republicans after these redraws, and Republicans have a floor of like 212. So if you want to pull that up,
like I said, who said this Monday, Luke? Who freaking said this?
I guess you did.
It's as if I told you guys, hey, even without Virginia, the map looks horrific for Dems. I wonder who said that.
And this is like absolute nuclear annihilation. Like, we're talking D plus 10+ year. You can see both Max Miller and the guy in North Carolina lose because of their scandals in this.
Because I got my own house
the only competitive, even Boebert told seat in Colorado flips in this, and Republicans are still at 212.
Yeah, I mean, guys, look at this. This is this is like worst case scenario. And you could argue there's a couple more that could maybe flip, but even under this scenario, let me zoom in on this. Republicans end up with 212 in the House. So
really, if Republicans hold those 212 and they get 6 seats, they'll get a majority again. If they get 10 seats, they got a bigger majority than they got now.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, I try to tell people this. Democrats, for them to have they have to win the generic ballot by 5 or 6 just to probably win the House. That's how bad the map is right now. If they
Luke is gone. Are we done with Super Chats for the record?
We got a couple more, but yeah.
Okay, bang those out. I want to start speaking.
Yeah, Kyle for 2. She said 10-1. Now she's facing 10 years in prison. Yeah, that's real. Nixon stand for 2. I'm starting to think the GOP might hold the House now. I'm not going to say yet, but I'm getting that feeling. We'll see. Travel with Joe for 5. Is there an outside chance that Louisiana and Alabama legislator gets convinced to draw out both their Democrat seats instead of one? Trump's applying pressure right now. If you live in those states, apply pressure to the state legislators.
Yeah,
do it.
Get in contact. Look, Alabama looks like it has the force. Louisiana, I think they really just want to do one district. And before we switch the topic, because I know Tyrone's about to go on a big rant. Tyler Burrier posted something I put in general chat.
Yeah,
basically, it's literally, I just want chat to be aware of it. It's just a literal list of the seats that a very intelligent, highly intelligent leader in our GOTV operations thinks that you should focus on. Seats in a bunch of swing states: Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan. And then we need to defend Texas 34, Colorado 8, Ohio 9. In Ohio 9, we need to defeat Marcy Couture. In Texas 34, we need to defeat Vicente Gonzalez. Anyways, it's just Tyler Boyer's opinion of what House seats we should target. He says that we need to flip 3 or 4 to actually, be able to keep the House. So, guys, if you live in any of these states, or if you live nearby and you want to participate, get involved now with these elections, these districts. There's a couple ways you can do that. TP Action is the one I always recommend.
Yeah, I think at this point, turning point action, I think they got the shit together a little bit. It seems like after Indiana, especially, it looks like it's clear they still got they still got some organization left. So there's.
I've also heard good things about Citizens United. I don't know anything about them, but I keep hearing people mention them. So if you guys want to look into it, but mainly TP Action is one I keep on promoting.
All right, American Order for 2. The people who we're doing must look stupid right now. No, to be fair, like that, those were reasonable concerns because a lot of people, including myself, thought this Virginia Supreme Court, it might be majority small R Republican. They weren't going to overturn this. But I think what was a final nail in the coffin was how close the margin was. It being only +3, that's not a landslide victory. For how much money they spent in the bullshit language and everything that happened, to win only by 3 points in Virginia.
That is
not good luck.
With the amount of money that was, there was anywhere between 64 at a bare minimum to over $100 million spent on this.
Yeah.
With the amount of money they spent, with the absolutely atrocious language that they used, and their incredibly weak legal arguments, it was entirely within the realm of possibility for the Supreme Court of Virginia to strike this down.
Yeah. I really believe if they would have just listened to what everybody was saying and go for 9-2, this referendum would have passed much easier and by a much wider margin. And yeah, you still have the legal issues, but if it passed by like 10 points or whatever, I don't think the Supreme Court of Virginia would have struck it down. I highly doubt it. But
the Democratic Party the Democratic Party treats power like an alcoholic treats alcohol. They engorge and get drunk on it. That is the ultimate villain. Okay, cool. We're cutting people off now. They are a fucking cartoon villain. They are comically evil, especially people like Luis Lucas and the Virginia State Senate Democrats. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too. They got greedy. They were emboldened by California and Maryland. And shame on the Indiana GOP and Kentucky GOP for being idiots. We got incredibly lucky. Like Luke said, the Republican Party did not win this. The Democratic Party lost this because the Republican Party did jack fucking shit.
Yeah, they should have tried more. I get the idea. It worked out for them, but you got very lucky. It was as close as it was. You got super lucky. You could have prevented this from passing in the first place if you spent like 5 million more or 10 million more. So, yeah. A couple more super chats. Let me just finish these off. Riley Moore for 5. The Democrats celebrated too soon. Let's go Trump/GOP. Thank you, Virginia Supreme Court. Yep, it's big win. American Order for 2. I met doomers like Barnes or Barris, not you, Rap. Yeah, I don't want to know what they're predicting. Lean R, Virginia now, or for the safe seats. Devious Aftershock for 5. The Virginia legislators has historically renominated their Supreme Court justices no matter what their bet was. How much you want to bet that goes out the window? Oh yeah, they're going to take them out. They're couple them up in a couple years. Yeah, you're done. But your Patriots are holding the line. So Daniel for 5. You could say this is a little too high of a ceiling, but I could see Republicans getting 240 seats in the House. I think it's pushing it, but we'll get to the math in a second. And, actually, if this is not as good as Democrats think it's going to be, if it's like D+1 or a neutral year, that's a different story, but we'll get to that. Aftershock for 2. Also, Spanberger's probably happy Lucas got raided. Oh, she is loving this now.
Oh yeah, no. Look, it's very obvious Spanberger hates Lucas, and
Yeah.
This is a burden lifted off of her. She is going to be able to operate much more on her own now. But make no mistake, Abigail Spanberger's presidential aspirations have been fucking snuffed out now.
Yeah. I mean, you waste all your political capital in 5 months, not even, on what have they passed anything good or anything that's actually popular?
They
I
didn't
think
intend
it's
to.
I think it's very funny. Spanberger replaced Eric Cantor, who was kind of the MAGA before. I don't want to say MAGA before Trump. He was proto MAGA.
Yeah,
We
that's a
have
good way to put it.
gone full circle from, or who, not Eric Cantor, Dave Bratt, sorry, Bratt.
Brad, yeah.
Yeah. We had Eric Cantor, who was hailed as the next coming of the Bush neocon era stuff. He got replaced by Dave Bratt, who was proto-MAGA, who got replaced by Spanberger, and now Spanberger has been defeated in the Supreme Court. And now her actions are going to cause widespread legitimization of MAGA candidates across the House this midterms.
Yeah. And now I think this is going to make a lot of these state legislators and Democrat states think twice about this, because now they're realizing, oh, wait a minute. Republicans can easily gerrymander. They don't have to worry about any of these bullshit laws that Democrats have to worry about. And even if it passes, they always do it in the dumbest way possible. Why is that? Why can't they just do it normally with redistricting? Why do they have to be so high on their own farts and do this shit all the time? Why? It's just unbelievable, but that's currently what's going on.
Well, before we kept going, I wanted to offer an opinion from an up-and-coming star. Just kidding, he's an old guy. Norwood Oldtroon said, like, back in April, a very, clear-pilled take that ended up being right about all of this. And the main thing that he wanted to point out was people like Orrin McIntyre and other figures on the right who were have been requesting us go all in, ignore laws, do all of the things, forget any sort of due process, or Trump become a dictator, please. And this is his response to him. I really get sick of the genre post that can be summed up as, quote, the left never makes mistakes, unlike the right. If the left wins, they're going to brilliantly seize the whole state apparatus and put us all into gulags. Yes, the right has a lot of stupid people. Yes, we should play to win. That doesn't change the fact that the modern left is largely a bunch of morons. We're dealing with Kamala Harris, not Vladimir Lenin. And, because really, ultimately, if you're talking about this Virginia race, it's really stupid. They phrased it in the most stupid way possible, in the most legally indefensible way possible. They were extremely blatant and open about what they were doing, unapologetic, and Democrats feel like they can get away with that whenever, but it's as it turns out, no, they actually can't. There actually is still a law and order. Whatever is left of law and order in this country is still restraining Democrats. And that's why Trump cannot become Mustache Man. That's why he cannot literally do anything. And why you should stop asking him to do all of these things that would probably get him Nixoned, as we put it sometimes. Yeah. So that was kind of the perspective. And you can follow Norwood Oldtroon on Twitter right now. He's a becoming star.
So Interstate Juche, who's at Interstate Juche, who's one of my favorite accounts on the website.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That guy's great.
Yeah, he made more or less a similar post saying there is a group of retard right people who wanted Trump to just become a dictator, go all in. I made a tweet on that. The same people, Orrin McIntyre, these people who are impatient, they don't understand how to build power. They wanted us to go all in with martial law in Minneapolis in January, and Trump did not do that. We abided by the law and the process. We won. We not only did we win that so hard that they backed down, there haven't been any riots or protests outside ICE facilities. There haven't been any assassination attempts or gunnings at ICE facilities since. There hasn't been any kind of spontaneous violence and anything to do with immigration enforcement and removals. We won that. And there is a group of people who seriously thought we would have been better off if Trump just announced a state of emergency, went in and started arresting people. No, we will win by following due process. We will win by obliging what the law says. Whether or not whether or not lame-ass Republicans act on that is an entirely different question. But we are more than capable of winning through lawfare and doing what is right.
Yeah, and the reason, I was one of the people that said, I think he should declare the Insurrection Act back in January. I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. He decided,
I said it too. I was wrong. I will admit, I was completely wrong. I am not going to do that again. I was wrong for saying that.
It really was just we had such shitty leadership at DHS that just getting rid of those people, that fixed everything.
Yeah, and
So,
we know now after the fact that it was Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski who enabled Greg Bavino in a position that literally didn't exist until 2 months beforehand to do whatever the hell he wanted. We know now that the whole reason Minneapolis happened was because Kristi Noem, who was supposed to just sit there and be a conduit for Stephen Miller, stepped out of line and tried to do what she wanted to do because she wanted her 10 seconds in the sun. And
yeah.
she fell, and now she has no future in Republican politics or in this administration. Take note. You go up against Trump and his enforcers of his will, you will lose.
Yeah. Justin for 5. I live/work at both ends of Colorado 8th. Compared to 22-24, I see almost no Democrat enthusiasm or signs. The old Democrats have at this point is just Orange Man bad. They've had that for 10 years now, but that's really it. They have nothing else, and the fact that Republicans suck. But all right, let me bail out the rest of these. Avery for 2. Can Whitman still lose? I mean, he could. It is not as Republican as he would want it to be, but he is overperformer. So Uwabe for 100. I don't know what currency that is. Maybe the Republicans knew it was going to be shot down by the Supreme Court, so they didn't bother spending the referendum. Yeah, I get that theory, but I still think that's stupid because you don't know for sure. So Devious aftershock for 2. Also, Virginia State's budget is in limbo. Government shutdown. Let's effing go. I heard about that. So apparently, they can't even pass a budget in Virginia right now. I talked to some people. They can't pass any budget in the state of Virginia, or the Commonwealth, I should say. Which, that should tell you everything about Democrat leadership there. They can't even pass a budget properly.
The incompetency crisis goes both ways, my friends, and we are now starting to see what happens when you let a bunch of uneducated diversity hires get to the highest levels of democratic power and leadership. Now they are literally incapable of letting states function and winning lawsuits against Republicans who, after this and the Supreme Court rulings, it does kind of seem like the Republican or the conservative jurisprudence, all of these judges that lean right, it seems like they're starting to get their intellectual groove back.
Yeah, I think they're starting to realize that they have to actually enforce the fucking law and actually, make good decisions, because they know that, hey, if I don't, you're just gonna. Anyways, sorry, I was going on, but
Well, the one thing, another big thing that we haven't talked about that I think is going to be relevant, if not this year, in the next couple of years, is the wording of California's redistricting, where they bypassed the committee, they restructured, and what was the premise that they wrote into the law? Racial gerrymandering. And
Yeah.
so now that is illegal according to the Supreme Court, and there will be lawsuits. And so it may not make it in time for the midterms, probably not,
it won't.
but 27, 28, I think before the next presidential election, there will be a lawsuit out against the state of California over racial gerrymandering. We'll get some seats back in Cali.
Yeah. Chance Razik has been a member for 11 months. Tyler Boyer is an example of what the right should be. Yeah, he's one of the few that still has a brain. So, American Order for 2 is.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, is Youngkin the reason for the Virginia Supreme Court being great right now? No, it's always been leaning to the right, but now we actually use it. So, Random Polish guy for 5. Going to vote in the Louisiana in Louisiana tomorrow for Fleming. Down with Cassidy, he's going to be locked out of runoff. He's the 3rd. I'm becoming a raging Cajun. W's a chat for Random Polish guy. Patriot. K Cup for 5. It is a stretch right now, and no need a deep dive. But now after this, imagine if Iran is settled and things calm down after that. GOP 225 floor. Well, that's the only thing Democrats have. Orange Man bad in Iran. They have what else do they got at this point?
No one gives a fuck about Orange Man bad except the people who have been voting on that issue for fucking since 2018 now.
Orange Man bad. Spray 91 Bear for 2. Cassidy looks like he has stage 4 lung cancer. I don't say that. Let's see. Kyle for 5. It was funny, but the way the Ice Ages talked to people was stupid in Minnesota. Yeah, it just, you could tell there was some of those people were not trained properly. And
it's because what Trump did was because Trump had an expedited ICE. Okay, so basically, FLETC, which is the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy, basically what Trump had done is he created an expedited training course for federal officers because of the hiring frenzy. But now that we have a sustainable level of federal and law enforcement, he is going to extend it out and increase the quality and time spent in this education. So any federal law enforcement officers, whether they are marshals or they are ICE ERO or HSI or Border Patrol or FBI, going forward, they are going to be held to a much higher standard with their federal law enforcement training, which is the good news.
Yeah.
This news broke like 3 or 4 days ago.
I heard about that. Yeah, so I get what they were trying to do. It's you want to expand the workforce as fast as possible, but you still got to make sure these people know what they're doing. And anyways, there was clearly some issues in Minneapolis. They clearly sorted those out, so that's a good thing. But American Earth for 2. It also helps that Bondi isn't handcuffing the DOJ. Yeah, Todd Blanche's cooking still. So, Nick the site. Or hold on. Oh God.
I would say by the end of the month, if Todd Blanche is still doing what he's doing, make that man attorney general.
Yeah. Well, he could be the acting one until I think October. So why not wait until like September or like August to say, okay, you've been here for like 4 or 5 months. You're clearly doing a good job. You're confirmed or something. Nick the science guy for 2. Better not go shut out South. More juice for 28. I would say, like, you're not gonna be able to redraw Georgia. Mississippi, they may try, but again, it's a little bit weird because they already had the primary, but we'll see. But yeah, I understand the argument that, hey, you want to make sure you don't go too far in some states like Georgia, especially for the Senate governor races, but we'll see. Aftershock for 2. There's calls to impeach a judges / court packet. I saw that. Yeah. Your first response to pack the courts. Wow. Good job, guys. American
democracy.
American Nerd for 10. Good news from Kelvin Coolidge Project. The U.S. economy added 115,000 jobs in April, surpassing expectations 65,000. Is things in the economy finally getting back on track? I think it is a little bit. I think there is signs of, life. Not perfect, but I think it is starting to. I think we are getting out of the Biden era a little bit, finally. Just a little bit, but we'll see.
I will be optimistic about jobs reports when I hear that the entry level market is no longer total ass shit.
Yeah, that's still the issue, but it does seem like you look at the finer details, we are seeing some positive movement, a little bit, not perfect, but it's better than it was. So, Daniel for 10, a bit of a highbrow take, but this is what happens when you try to hide the fact that your party was pro-slavery. Oh gosh, the history will catch up with you at some point. I don't think that's what happened here, but thanks for the super chat. Lord Rhino for 2.
Virginia Democrats are advocating for secession as a result of a court ruling. Welcome back, 1861.
Oh my gosh, that is actually a fair point. He's right. After the Memphis thing, and Lord Rhino for 2.
I can hear John getting upset a little bit at the comparison.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is I'm pretty sure that guy's trolling.
I don't know. Lord Rhino for 2. It's over Scott Bros. Paula for 2. Safe to say, not a good week for Luis Lucas. Yeah, she has anyone seen her in the last week? Is she still around? Is she even in Virginia at this point?
Sources have told me Luis Lucas is stabilized. Please God.
That's gonna forever live in just infamy. It's gonna live in infamy, that meme. Oh my gosh. All right. Send General William T. Sherman into Virginia if they secede. Yeah. Bring back the corpse of Sherman. Do it.
No, fuck off.
Yes, do it. Anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I think we gotta really discuss we talked about obviously the Virginia Supreme Court, they overthrow this shit. But I think we gotta really discuss the ramifications of how big this could be. And I think oh, go on.
No, I was going to say, I've been wanting to say this for a little bit. And now I can engineer it towards that. If we, actually, hold on. Firstly, someone who's never spoken on stream, hi, Poog. Everyone say hi to Poog. He's a very good friend of Rap and I's. We've known him for many years.
Hello.
Hello. First time I've met you before. I'm Poster Tubbs. You probably know who I am, but still. Probably not, actually.
he's a patriot, but
Yeah, he's a real patriot.
That's
He just came back from
the
teaching in
the
Japan.
Filipino Chinese Indian man poster tubs.
So true, true.
so true.
Anyway, what did you want to say, brother?
I wanted to make a point. This might be what you were about to say, or something similar. That we can laugh at the Democrats dooming right now, but they have good reason to doom, because with the recent races in Indiana and some other states that already want to redistrict, and we should remember that Turning Point Action now has a blueprint that they can copy in any state that has a Republican trifecta at any point in the future, which is likely going to be Wisconsin at some point, to get them to do redistricting, any state, right? This is the Democrats' best chance to take the House, honestly, because 2028 is going to be even worse for them. Multiple states that are not redistricted now are going to be redistricted then. And 2030 would be the same problem. And then 2032 will be after a census that will make them lose somewhere between 5 to 10 seats. Like, this is really, really bad for the Democrats in the House. People talk about how bad the Senate is for them, but the House is now going to be just as bad, which is pretty crazy.
It might even be
I've
worse
mentioned-
now. But
I've mentioned this on stream, and I'm gonna keep mentioning it because I want to be vindicated on this. You are going to see, until the midterms happen, you are going to see the Democratic Party increasingly ramp up rhetoric on packing the courts. We're seeing it now after this ruling, because it is an act by Congress signed by the president back in the 1869, I think. Paul, you can correct me on that. Paul Pug, whatever the fuck you want to go by, that they need a majority in the Senate and the House in order to enact change to increase the amount of justices they can have, because it is fixed to 9 Supreme Court justices. And right now, they are facing the very realistic chance of they might never hold the House ever again right now. They need the House, they need the Senate, and they need to win 28 so that they can increase the amount of Supreme Court justices so they can pack the courts. This is their last-ditch attempt to ever influence and pack the judicial wing of the United States federal government ever again. They are going to be locked out for at least a generation.
yeah, and this is a big deal. And I brought the House map, and we did a House prediction on Monday. And again, there's a lot of caveats because of redistricting and stuff, but just to illustrate how bad this could get for Dems, like obviously Tennessee, they already redrew one. They got that one. Louisiana's a guarantee one, to be determined on the other one. Alabama looks to be for sure one. But now you get Virginia, and you have 3 other seats that are now Republican. And just that alone, they're 198. No matter what happens, 198, no matter what. Well, you can keep going. Like Alaska, I doubt the biggest going to lose there. Colorado might get a bit closer. I think they hold on to a couple of those seats there. Iowa, they hold on to one. Texas, 35th and the 15th, I think they hold on there. You just keep going. You guys begin to realize the couple in Florida. And right there, Republicans are 207. Democrats are 182 right now. And that's with states like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina. They could still redraw as we speak. And you begin to realize that at this point, you fill in some other of these districts like in like California or whatever. Republicans only need like 4 or 5 actually competitive House seats to win the House at this point.
So I'm trying to find it. If you go to
these.
Larry Sabato's crystal ball, they have it 211 Republican, 208 Democrat. And this is before South Carolina, Louisiana, and Alabama can attempt at redistricting. Just as is, without those 3, we are at about 211 House seats minimum. Democrats are at 208. There are 17 seats up for contested?
Yeah, like I'm filling in some of this.
Assuming we only get one out of South Carolina, Louisiana, and Alabama, I am going to assume Alabama gets something done.
Yeah,
that's
they're going
214. We only need 4 House seats at that point from swing districts?
Yeah.
4 House
In order-
seats.
Yeah.
That's
to
the
hold the
that's
House
that
majority.
same thing Tyler said.
Yeah, the math has become so much easier for us as a result of this illegal and unconstitutional Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act being overturned.
I mean, I just
Oh,
looked
yeah,
at a couple of these other ones, and I'm at 214 right now. Again, this is not a prediction or whatever, but let's just assume they're 214 and with like South Carolina that may redraw, Ohio, you get captor seat. You just need 4, like Tyler Boyer was saying, and you get the House. Democrats, they literally have to run the table, just a tiny House majority. They have to win everything.
And they're already anywhere between $40 to $100 million in debt with their House fund.
And that's after
And they just spent
20
80 million on. They spent 80 million on Virginia too. After that, yeah. So
yeah.
No, that number was including it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, a reminder: the DNC was already in debt by like $30 million before this year. Remember?
Yeah. So if we go with the lowball number of 64 million on top of 30 million, they are at least $94 million in debt. This could be upwards of nearly $120 million in debt now. While Republicans have what for their House?
Oh my
300
gosh.
million, 400 million?
At least at this point. And they keep getting more money out of nowhere. They just print money like nothing.
Speaker Johnson, if you can hear me, start spending money now.
Yeah, I'm just doing the math here. I mean, like, yeah, there's some seats that Democrats are going to probably gain or whatever, but like the issue Democrats have is that A, they have no money. We've gone over this a million times. And B, they have to run the table. We said this back in 2024. Democrats have to win everything just to what? Maybe prevent the GOP from getting 218. And here's a wild thing. If Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana goes all out this year, let's just say they do, and I'm not saying they're going to, and we assume South Carolina redraws, Republicans would be at 217.
We would literally only need to win one.
Yeah, just one seat.
Democrats, if that happens, if we go all out, the Democrats would literally need to win every single fucking seat to get a House majority. I'm sorry.
Seat majority.
I'm a statistician, but you don't need to be a statistician to know that those are basically, frankly, impossible odds.
This really reminds me of in 2016, there was that moment on election night where you were watching and Trump had won. I think he'd won Florida, he'd won Georgia. I think Arizona might have been confirmed as well.
It was Wisconsin. Wisconsin's the one that made people realize that he had.
Yeah, they looked at the screen and the pundits were saying, "Oh my gosh, Hillary needs to run the board." The whole time they're talking about Trump needs to run the board, and then they said, "No, Hillary needs to run it." That's where the Democrats are right now.
And we're not even like pushing. Like we're not saying anything crazy. We're not saying, "Oh, they're gonna win a D+12 seat." These are seats Trump won by like 10 points in 2024 or whatever. So even if it's a more Democrat environment, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where, and again, Louisiana, we don't know. They may go 5-1. That's what some people are saying right now. Mississippi, again, they may not reach.
The conservative estimate is we just get one out of Louisiana, Alabama, and South Carolina.
Yeah. All right, we got a bunch of super chats to catch up on. President Gilbert getting up for 20. I still think we need to enact a law, either in multiple states or federal, to start putting harsh punishments, including the death penalty. It should literally be illegal for judges to get away with stuff like in Minnesota. Well, maybe not the death penalty for that, but
they're going to have a hard time justifying the death penalty for judges for a lot of Americans because they're going to go, "Oh, why is the Trump administration trying to administer the death penalty
to kill the judges, these independent judges?" Kyle for 2, Democrats in the House for 45 years, everything swings. Yeah, people forget about that. K-Cup for 2, imagine Mike Johnson gets a true majority. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine it with 225 seats in the House? Mike Johnson, oh my God. It'll be paradise, but we'll see. Lord Rhino for 5, should candidates be capped on spending for elections? Yes, but only Democrats are. Daniel for 10, we're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. You'll say, "Please, Mr. President, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore." And I'll say, "No, it isn't. We can win more." That's real.
We can win more. We're going to win a lot.
American Nerd for 2, let's give MAGA Mike Johnson a true majority. Yep. Sport Dogs for 2. Louisiana proposed maps just now. They're all 5-1. That's shit if that's real. But that's kind of the sad reality of it. You know, freaking Landry's, I don't know. It's just dumb, but we'll see. Even
Replace
then,
Landry, redistrict before 28. Easy.
yeah, but even without Louisiana going all out, Republicans still in this scenario needs only 4. So, unvaxxed Chad for 2. Trump called a convention to MAGA charge up. Yeah, people forget about that. They're holding a convention in, is it Las Vegas? Where's the convention being held this year?
I don't know. I've never heard of this.
I think it is in Nevada.
Tyrone, they like announced like months ago they're doing a convention this year. So
Shit, yeah, they're right. They did. Yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah. My gears are starting to spin.
No, it's actually they're not really saying it. Apparently the front runner right now is Dallas, which is just a weird choice, but
no, I don't want to go to Dallas. No.
You don't want to go to Dallas.
I don't want to go to Dallas.
You know, there's this really nice city right in the middle of the country. It's really pretty. It's got some sports teams. We have great corn, great pork tenderloin. It's called Indianapolis. It's very Republican. We hold the NRA convention. You could bring the RNC to Indianapolis. It'd be nice.
You said Midwest and sports teams. I was like, I'm going to kill you if you say we should go to Kansas City. Fuck the Chiefs.
K-Cup for 2. Kind of weird. Zelensky has more cards right now than Democrats. That's real. Sam Madsen for 2. How do you feel about Wisconsin Assembly and Senate? Again, state legislative stuff. It gets wacky. It's to be determined. There are some concerning elements there, but we'll see. President Goober getting up for 10. It will still baffle me that Democrats, advocates, and the retard right will say no matter who, Democrats will automatically win. Republicans will lose no matter what, every election without fail. Dumb shits. Well, yeah, they've been saying this for 20 years now. Republicans are losing.
No. After all of this, you still have idiots like Rich Barris going, well, we're going to lose South Carolina Senate because Lindsey Graham is unpopular.
Yeah, he's like 80% of the primary vote.
The big thing you need to take away from what Tyrone and Rapp were saying just earlier about this being their last chance is that if you want to transition into a world where the opposite is more likely true than that, where it feels like Republicans are just going to win, then you really have to push in these next like 2, 3, 4 years. Like up until 2030, up until we get the census done, up until the redistricting happens in 2032. It's the most important time of probably your entire life to be involved in politics. And then after that, the redistricting happens from the next decade. And we probably, it'd still be good for you to be involved, but it might be less existential at that point.
I think at this point, like Democrats, they have to win 28. If they don't win 28, they're fucked. I know, like, we say this all the time where it's like, oh, a party's dying, but unlike prior years and stuff, has there ever been a party like this close to dying, like in modern history? Like, I know Republicans in early 2000s kind of shat the bed, but at least for them, they were winning elections. But
I'd say the Tories.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, the Tories are about to die.
Tories and
thank God for that too.
So just like we don't want to talk about this a bunch on stream, but Tories have pretty much completely cratered. Labor lost a crap ton of local seats in the UK elections. Conservatives, where they should have picked up all of them, the Tories instead dropped another 200. Reform picked up most of them. And I will mention, as many people are pointing out, the 10 seats Restore UK, focused on and Great Yarmouth were picked up. I don't think we need to make a bunch of commentary on it, but like that's UK, their traditional center-right party is dying. And that is the point.
Nick the Science Guy for 2. With Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina +1 per, 215 double-digit 24 seats. Really? Okay, if that's the case, I gotta double check it. I'll check after the stream, but if that's a case where you have 215 House seats that are Trump plus 15 or more, at that point, like, how can you realistically say that Democrats are the clear favorites? You could argue at that point the Republicans are favored. I'm not saying that's a prediction, but
thank you, Samuel Alito, for gifting us this beautiful gift. Thank you so much for protecting our democracy.
Samuel Alito is a patriot, and we should build statues of him and Clarence Thomas and Scalia too.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have some deranged Democrat footage. Oh,
What?
here we go.
Uh-oh.
We have some deranged Democrats out in the wild.
Yeah, let me pull the. Let me just read some super chats.
I put it in general.
Yeah. Let me read the super chats while I pull this up. I'm Battlefield for 2. Rap, did you eat old 9 restore candidates? No. Aquafan for 10. I consider myself a MAGA libertarian. Libertarian in favor of strong borders. Also, the Libertarian Party sucks, so I mostly vote GOP. I don't agree with him on everything, but I generally like Massie. Why do you all hate him? Okay, I want to get my take on this. And I used to be fine with Massie, but my issue with Thomas Massie is he makes things needlessly complicated to do stuff.
And he's pedantic.
Yeah. And the issue, my biggest issue with Thomas Massie, a lot of the stuff that he does is performative bullshit. It doesn't help anybody. In fact, it hurts Republicans because it wastes time, wastes everyone's efforts, and it runs a risk of destroying legislation that, while may not be perfect, is still far better than the alternative.
All right, here we go.
Like the big,
Blake
beautiful bill, but
producer Blake from John Doyle's show put up a big list of reasons why you don't support Massie.
yeah.
If you support Massie after he voted against funding the wall, voted against funding ICE, voted against mass deportations, voted against E-Verify, voted against funding at DHS and ICE, again, voted to raise taxes on Americans by 3%, voted against defunding Planned Parenthood, cried about dead narco-terrorists we blew up in the water, praised by Jasmine Crockett as an acceptable conservative from the radical left, which means you're weak, opposed tariffs that benefited his own state of Kentucky, voted against censuring Adam Schiff, voted against censuring Rashida Tlaib, voted against censuring Stacey Plaskett, who was texting Jeffrey Epstein on the House floor about how to hurt Trump during a hearing. Took money from IPAC, a group working with the Democratic Socialists of America to oppose ICE, flew all the way to Pennsylvania to meet the founder of IPAC, proposed a bill to increase legal migration.
Yeah, I got the
But yeah, no,
screen.
like, if you don't want a country, please keep Thomas Massie in power May 19th. If you want a fucking country, get his ass out of there.
Thomas Massie is my least favorite Republican.
And by the way, I'm not even a big fan of Gulrain. I think, how do you say his name? Gulrain?
Gallren.
Like, I think at best he's gonna be like a generic Republican. I don't think he's been anything good. But at least with him, he's just gonna be a random backbencher that just like votes yes on everything. He's not gonna really do anything.
Yes man, and I prefer a yes man to a freaking autist. And I say this as an autist myself.
Wow. He's not an autist. He's not an autist. Ron Paul is an autist. Clarence Thomas is an autist. Thomas Sowell is an autist. Thomas Massie is an unprincipled fucking attention-seeking loser. He does not have principles. He is not libertarian. He does not vote like he is not a voting libertarian. He is a voting grandstander who has the surface level appearance of a libertarian. He is a hack. He is a fraud. He is taking money out of your pocket and shitting it up a fire. That is all he is doing. He is full of shit. He deserves to not have a he deserves to be a Rumble podcaster. That's all he deserves in life. That's the only thing he deserves in life.
Massie is just such a piece of shit. I genuinely despise him. I mean, I posted something on Discord about him and MTG that I thought was really funny. It might be going viral on Twitter soon. We'll see. But yeah, Massie has officially he's officially tuned out. He's awful. He has no redeeming qualities. And the worst thing about him are all of his fans. His fans are insufferable. And one final note, but have you seen the face Massie makes, like his eyes, like whenever he's like really?
It's like wide, and it's just like you can tell he's high on something half the time. That's what it looks like. At least.
I just think he's generally deranged. I think he's a deranged man.
Yeah. When people have those looks in like the modern era, that means one of two things. One, they're a schizophrenic leftist. They're like they're on something. They believe crazy shit. God knows what. Or they're high on drugs. There's no in between in modern politics. So All right. Nick decides guy for 2. I'm counting it if 24 House or Trump won by 10. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so that's good scenario for the GOP then. K Cup for 2. Hassan Piker called to storm the Virginia Supreme Court. Wait, what? Hassan Piker's telling people to storm the Virginia Supreme Court? Are you serious?
Oh yeah, no, he said, yeah, no, he made a tweet saying that we need violent revolution in the state of Virginia because of the Supreme Court ruling. I'm not even joking. He straight up.
We need to get Hassan deplatformed from social media, and we need to fucking arrest him and deport him.
Todd Blanche, if you're listening, if you get rid of Hassan Piker, if you deport
actually, what
him,
we should do is because we're doing this. I don't know if you guys are aware. We're going to be opening up a migrant detention facility in the Democratic Republic of the Congo within the next half year. We need to send Hassan Piker to the Democratic Republic of the Congo to run away from forced labor with his fucking Afghan friends.
Amen. Amen. I don't know about the other guy, but I don't know who the other guy is, but I've had enough of Hassan Piker. He is a vile individual. Like, look, I'm not a fan of Cenk. I think Cenk Uygur, his uncle. I think he has terrible beliefs. I don't like the Young Turks. I don't like Anna Kasparian. I actually really don't like Anna Kasparian. But on a personal level, I don't hate Cenk like I do Hassan. I mean, maybe I'm just being too charitable, but
no, you're not. I mean, compared to what they do over on the Young Turks, like I find it amusing. I find it kind of silly. But what Hassan Piker does, he should not be allowed to be on streaming platforms or really any platform at all. He incites violence almost on a daily basis. He has actually inspired the guy who lit those fires recently that had killed a bunch of people, like in California, the
I know
Palisades.
you're talking about.
He inspired that guy.
By the way, that piece of shit killed David Lynch. And never forget, Karen, the left killed David Lynch. Okay? Yeah.
Hassan inspired that guy. Hassan Piker talks to his chat about Luigi Mangione like he is a bedtime story. Like, the beautiful hero Luigi Mangione, our mythological hero, and he is encouraging more and more people to take actions to harm people that have money. And he justifies it with a concept he calls social killing. And so, yes, no, like the New York Times propping this guy up, Twitch letting him stream, whoever lets him stream, nobody, because he explicitly incites violence constantly, should not be allowed to stream.
Todd Blanche, if you're listening, arrest him and my life is yours.
Yes, we need to send Hassan. I think the DOC is too nice for him. There's some nice, green areas there.
Hey,
we should recognize the Tuareg Republic in northern Mali, which is all shitty desert, and send Hassan to live in that desert.
He loves communist states, right?
We are sending Hassan Piker to Uzbekistan.
Oh gosh. But yeah, you guys know how he loves communist states or whatever.
Hold up. Did we talk about this already? Eric Schmidt is talking about the Supreme Court needing to go shut down California.
We'll get to that. I got a couple super chats catch up to. American Nerd for 2. Alito Thomas are patriots. God bless them. Yeah, they're patriots that they're getting up there in age though. So I'm Battlefield for 5. Remember Rand Paul complaining about us capture Maduro and talking about To Kill a Mockingbird? Yeah, I remember that. K-Cup for 2. Bro, Massie got that Adam Gase look. Look it up. I know you're talking about. Dillybot for 10. Don't tell Timmy Pool that Massie sucks. Yeah. American Nerd for 6. I honestly don't know who Massie was until 2023, and that's when he begins his downfall in the Lulbert TDS territory. Yeah, it's a fair point.
What is it with Kentucky and electing these god-awful Republicans who LARP as libertarians but are effectively Democrats?
Yeah, Daniel for 5.
mean, on one hand, you have Massie, who's horrible. I don't hate Rand Paul as much. Rand Paul, I can make excuses for, or you could make excuses for. You can't, but also it's also McConnell, and
they just suck. You know what's bad when freaking oh god, who's the chair of the Judiciary Committee, or not the Judiciary, the Oversight Committee?
Andy Barr.
No, James Comer. You know what's bad with James Comer is probably the best congressman in Kentucky. You know it's bad. But he probably is. He actually does something.
You guys remember Elections Joe? I
didn't forget him.
Oh, you need to see this crash out. Oh, look at it.
Oh, God. Oh, is he posting new shit?
No disrespect. He just posted this a few hours ago.
It's Jover, guys. Pack it up. Republicans, we control the government forever. We tried, we lost. The bad guys always win in the end.
Here, I know. I literally posted about this. The funny thing about maximum warfare is that when you run the risk of losing like a fucking retard, then you lose like a fucking retard when you do fucking retarded things. You fucking retard.
Yeah, Daniel for 5. You can tell Massie's constituents in quotation are terminally online
Maximum warfare.
Are terminally online LARPers, not actual people from Kentucky. That's real. Kyle for 5. I'll vote for Randy Fine before Massie. I'll send billions of dollars to Israel if it means mass deportations. We're not gonna get that discussion, but yeah, Randy Fine's Randy Fine. But okay. I pulled the video of what John posted a little bit ago about that woman screaming at the Virginia Supreme Court.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh.
Let me pull this up. So this is our opposition, everybody. And, hey, what's this guy's name? Is it oh my gosh, what's his name? Is it Tom Homan fan? Who posted it? Or Interstate is it Juche? Juche?
Interstate Juche.
Juche.
We call him KG.
He's a patriot. Go follow him. But
he's great. He's amazing. I love it when he makes fun of Orrin McIntyre. Fuck Orrin McIntyre, by the way. Just letting obligatory.
Yeah. So he posted a good stat on this. Democrat status. They're most definitely not okay. And he's from a good point where like this decision may single-handedly demoralize the left for a long time. Because they spent all this money. It's a Democrat state. They were gaslit by their own people. Guys, people love democracy. They love what you want, what to push it for. And the Virginia Supreme Court throws it out. And this is the video that John sent. Let me just play it.
Hey, hold up. Here, I just saw this. You guys might find this funny. This was a couple days old.
We'll look at it after we watch the lady.
Yeah, let me just watch the thing. Hold on.
Okay, all right, yeah, play it.
Avery for 5. Massey, someone makes up for his shit because he's the only one who actually got a shit about Epstein. I mean, it's cool, the Epstein stuff, but he didn't care about it till last year. But okay, here's the video. This is real. This is how the left is responding to the Virginia Supreme Court. Shame!
Every single Supreme Court justice who voted to take away our as a people.
Yeah, this is our opposition, everybody. Seriously?
Oh my gosh.
Who is she? My question is, who is she talking to? There's nobody
God.
there.
Talking to God.
I don't even think that, or whatever god she worships. Who freaking knows? But like, yeah, this is the man.
To her, God is the big white building.
Shame.
It's the big white building, and the black man is her. Obama is her fucking prophet.
My gosh. Hey, remember that? Remember you assholes voted to take away the rights of millions of Virginians, by the way. So I don't want to hear about this shit. Oh, shame on you. You took away our right. You people voted to take away the rights of millions of people.
I guarantee you. By the way, I guarantee you that person is a paid actor. They are not an organic person. I guarantee you that is a paid actor.
It's a paid actor or schizophrenic. It's a paid actor or schizophrenic. But I can fix her. I don't think you can.
Brother, if you are trying to get with a woman like that, I might have to put you down myself.
America done it for
I'm
you.
not even fucking joking.
Of course, it's a white liberal doing this. Well, and you can just tell, like, she's deranged and she's on something. She's probably hearing stuff in her head because she's on the SSRIs, whatever they're called. So, K-Cup for 2. Props to the dude with the cane for being chill. What? President Gilbert Getty up for 50. Hassan Piker's Isman Gold derangement syndrome is honestly comedic. Says Amiro is good, but is under Asmon Gold's control. Back up the irresponsibility of Caleb Hammer's guest on the show. Probably even goes after other like Tekdon and VTuber Kirsch. Oh yeah, no one. Piker's a joke, but
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to the big $50 super chat, President Gilbert Giddy Up. Thank you very much for that one. Yeah, I just can't get the fact that this is a response, but to that they know that they're fucked. They just know like, oh, we're fucked now. This is our Hail Mary. And yeah, this is what we end up with. So yeah, I just, the more I look at this, the more I think about it, I'm trying to figure out, like, how can Democrats even, like, this cannot get worse for Democrats, right? Surely, right? It's gonna get
It'll
worse,
get
isn't
worse.
it?
It's going to get much
Because
worse
I want
for
to pull
them.
up what Eric Schmidt brought up. Because like somebody brought this up
Oh,
earlier.
and Tim Walz is talking about how he's going to force through a racial gerrymander now.
Hey, remember when the last time he said like he sold the freaking Tesla stock and it surged right after? Remember that? Anyways. Yeah, so apparently Eric Schmidt is okay, this is interesting. California's map maker drew its new maps to ensure that racially gerrymandered VRA seats are bolstered in order to make them most effective. Okay, wait a minute here. Wait a minute.
Yes. So this is a big issue actually for the Dems, is that a lot of Democrat states that are crazy gerrymandered to keep their minority congressmen happy made those districts even more minority packed. So what happens is those districts are now illegal, and any new map should be more Republican, essentially.
Please, if the California map gets struck down, I'm not saying it's going to. Listen, they started this slap fight.
Even with the conservative, even with the conservative estimate that we said of Alabama and Louisiana only passing one, if California is shot down, that is 5 seats that flip back. They literally are locked out. It is entirely
Please.
possible that if we could get California's fucking racially motivated gerrymander shot down and the old map restored, we literally win the House by default.
I know this is like a very, I don't know if autistic is the right word, but like very election nerd reason to want this to happen. But I hate when I have to wait for California to come in before we know what the House is going to look like, because
Yeah, that's
California
bullshit.
takes like 5 weeks to count all their results. So it would be nice if we could know before California has to count their last 10 districts for a month.
I mean, okay, so when is the California primary? Tubbs, are you here? Tubbs.
Yeah, I'm still here.
When
It's
is the
next
California
month.
primary? Okay,
It's
so
next month. I'm gonna check my mailbox to see if they mailed in my ballot for me.
this
and
could
I'm
get
voting for
very
Bianco.
wacky. If it is a racial gerrymander, which I'm
The
pretty sure.
primaries are June 2nd. June 2nd.
Yes, okay, I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure they literally admitted this is a racial gerrymander. I'm pretty sure they said that. If that's the case, we may end up with California. The only gain for Democrats this cycle, if this happens again, I'm not saying it's going to, they would only gain 1 seat in Utah. That's it.
Can you imagine the hubris required to like bake into every single, like many of these states' laws that we're doing this explicitly because we believe the court will like rule in our favor on this specific issue of just like we must always have minority majority districts like that. There's an arrogance there, there's a hubris there that just got completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of damage. This is just the beginning of damage that comes from this.
Please do it. Overturn the map. Alito, do it. Cake up for 5. It can only get worse. Again, if Iran gets settled and oil and fuel prices drop at the pump, that is a nail in the coffin. Trump achieves ultimate victory. Well, yeah, I mean, and prices slowly going down a little bit. Not saying it's going to keep going down, but we'll see. I'm Battlefield for 2. Thank you, Spanberger, for this. Yeah. If only if they listened to the advice of smart people in the Democrat Party. Like the few smart people told them not to do this. Funny how that works. But Utah's be fought soon too. Yeah, and that can still get overturned. It's unlikely, but it could still happen. But this is beautiful. Daniel for 5. I've been following Let's Talk Elections coverage of all this that has happened this week. The title of this VRA video was just screams cope. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but if we end up with California like throwing out their map, at that point, is it fair to say Republicans are favored in the House? Again, I'm not saying it's what's going to happen, but
It's most people are saying it's a toss up, but depending on how if we get a couple more seats in redistricting, it might turn to Republican favor. That's what it looks like.
Princess Rhino for 5. Indiana Rhinos go down. VRA mostly gone, allowing the South to redistrict. The reform parties in the UK showing it's going to win in 2029. And now Virginia. Yeah, this has been a white pilling week. And please throw out it's not going to happen, but if the California map gets thrown out, yeah, I think it's fair to say Republicans are winning the House, but we'll see. Democrats listening to smart people. Well, no, there were people in the Democrat Party of Virginia told them not to do this.
Polling USA is saying that the state of Virginia should just ignore the Supreme Court. Like that went well for them the last time they did it.
Go ahead, see what happens. You know what would happen in that scenario if they ignore the Supreme Court? You know what would happen?
Tell me, enlighten me. What would
I actually
happen?
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Somebody think of
fucking thought.
something. Lord Rhino for 5. Does the Virginia ruling only mean for 2026 or the rest of the decade? Well, they could try again, but I don't think they don't have the political capital to do this again. So good luck. A glitch Evie for 2. Wait, let's talk elections still exist? I think so. I'm Battlefield for 2. Hey Rap, when will we get a Senate prediction? Next week. We were gonna do it probably we were gonna do it this week, but Section 2 had to get no, not Section 2, but the other stuff happened. So
Things are constantly happening.
Things are happening at unprecedented rates.
We're doing things that have never been done before.
Please, I really hope they strike down the California map. It's not going to happen, but that would be the funniest outcome. All right. If they try again at 28, they'll probably go for 9-2 or 8-3. Yeah, they'll go for 9-2 or 8-3. They would realize, yeah, we pushed it.
When Democrats get done to them, what they do to literally everybody else, they resort to fucking murder fantasies.
Yeah.
As seen by this character, Austin McNamara, saying allowing the Confederates and their lineage to survive was a mistake.
Oh, God.
Conversely, allowing Confederates to live and survive is the only reason you guys have a country still.
Not too smart of people, but all we need is a SAVE Act. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but Trump's executive orders are our last hope on that front right now. Hey, if you vote Republican, you know what could happen? We could pass it next year because you know damn well when McConnell and Cassidy are gone at Tillis, and if we expand the Senate majority, that shit's passing. That's the Same America Act is passing. So you live in any state, doesn't matter if it's freaking like Iowa or whatever, Ohio, get to work, work for campaigns, work for Turning Point Action. This is it. Like this is kind of like not the final battle, but this is kind of the prelude to the final battle in 28. You win this year.
It's insane to me. It's insane to me that that there is now a serious chance we can hold the House without needing to pass the Save America Act.
You can expand the House majority right now. That's what's could happen.
Yeah.
And all of this is happening while we're really like kind of cleaning up the Senate, maybe 3 or 4 seats in the Senate. That makes me really happy.
We can expand the Senate majority, hell, even this House majority at this point. You don't got Thomas Massie, you don't got Mitch McConnell running around, or not running around, but like
that motherfucker's not running around. He's rolling around in his turtle shell.
Like 20 years.
Yeah, you get rid of these assholes. At this point, like the final battle is 28, but at that point, the Save America Act will get through, I think. So, yeah, this is a big deal for 26. We have to.
Hey guys, the Minnesota spaghetti map just dropped. Look at this fucking shit. Look at what the Democrats are saying we need to do to gerrymander Minnesota now.
Good luck, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah. Fuel prices just need to drop next. Yeah, that's about the only thing holding Republicans back right now. Gas prices. And gas prices aren't everything, but I really believe gas prices are kind of just a psychological thing. It's not the whole economy, but if gas prices are low, people are like, oh, things are not too bad. But if they're high, people get pissed off for good reason. But yeah, if we could actually hold the line on this front, and we actually expand the majorities of both chambers, again, not an official prediction, but the sky's the fucking limit for 28. All right. So I think that's kind of it. I do got to get going. So, yeah, this is a big victory today. This was a huge victory that I don't think Democrats really were anticipating. And you guys see what Republicans just posted?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Trump like flipping off. I love that picture. I don't know what is the
Oh my-
context of that picture again.
The context is they're quote tweeting the Democrats. The Democrats go,
No, the
"Breaking."
context. I know the context of that picture.
Well,
Not
the chat doesn't know the context of the
Yeah,
picture.
explain the context of the.
So the Democrats, their stupid Twitter account posted, "Breaking: the Virginia Supreme Court has voted to overturn the results of the special election. This decision silences the voices of Virginians who improved and updated congressional map." And then the Republicans just quote tweet it with Donald Trump flipping
Just
them
flipping them off. And they ratioed them. Oh my gosh. I gotta like this tweet. Hold on, I gotta shit
I
post real
think
quick.
it's very funny that on the anniversary of Charlie and Erica Kirk, the Democratic Party is facing a wipeout in the House.
Wait, this is the anniversary
what?
today?
Happy anniversary, Charlie. We miss you, buddy.
Wait,
We miss
seriously?
you. You would have loved today.
It's a fifth anniversary for him and his wife.
Okay. American Noted for 2026 is Helms Deep before 28's Pelennor Fields. I would say more so 28 would be like the Black Gate, but yeah, 26 is kind of like, yeah, but like Minister Earth or whatever. So President Gilbert getting up for 10. Just remember, if these idiots want a second civil war, just know it's not going to be red versus blue states. It's going to be different ideological factions, cults, cities, and states, more than two sides. Oh, it would be the Fire Rises on steroids, probably, but yes, I made a Fire Rises reference. Sue me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, listen, the Fire Rises is such it's just hilarious every time I look at it. Oh, I missed super chat. Shit. One more super chat that we're done. K-Cup for 5. This is the you are about to enter the final cutscenes before the end of the game. There is no going back. Please finish all side quests beforehand. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It just this is a glorious day. Just Trump flipping people off. Yeah, the original context of the image is hilarious. I think it was at the was it at the
We got
union
breaking
thing?
news.
Or
We
what?
got breaking news. Speaker of the Alabama House of Representatives has released something.
Oh no.
Re-release.
No, he said that Alabama Republicans are going in.
Yay.
7-0 or 6-1.
We'll see.
Just do 7-0.
It doesn't really say anything, it looks like. We'll see though.
Well, Tennessee
Alabama
just
has done its part into helping President Trump maintain a Republican Congress, and we will continue fighting to ensure our elections are decided by Alabamans, not activist judges.
Yeah. Please win. And they quote, oh, they're talking with Tennessee.
Yep. God bless Alabama.
Yeah. All right. One more super chat that I really like going. Ben Ballaway for 2. More like the battle of unnumbered tears. I know you know. Gosh. All right. So I think it's kind of it, everybody. This is a big victory for Republicans. Democrats right now are clearly you talk about actual panic. Every fucking tweet Democrats post now, you can just tell it's like they're fucked. But this was a huge win for the GOP. This gave the GOP significant life this year. Like Calais was a big deal, but I would argue this was much bigger in the grand scheme of things because now,
You know, it's the weekend, guys. If you have a special restaurant you want to go to, order some lobster
yeah,
because that one in Virginia is gone.
the lobster
Tell
district's
them to bring out
dead.
the lobster. Tell them to bring out the lobster.
All right, everybody. So this is everybody. We'll be back next week. I still am iffy on the House staying Republican, but if you're the GOP, you have to love the news that you're getting. Now, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, get off your ass and ram through these maps. Do it. Okay, everybody. We shall see you guys at the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at.